16 reasons the best women often stay single the longest. What do you guys think? You think that what these reasons are actually going to pertain to the best women? Well, we'll give this article a shot. I mean, like I always do, I may give my input, but I will read the whole thing. So even if you disagree with my take, you can see the whole thing. So let's go at it. In a world where being coupled up or in a relationship seems like all the rage, the reality is that being single can actually be better. I agree. So far, so good. First sentence, not bad. There may be pluses to getting married, but it can also be a bit overrated. Second sentence, already not that bad either. Instead, rolling solo for as long as possible is the way to go, at least for some whammons. Now, let me just, before we move on, say this. If you're a woman and you, let's just say you're so introverted, you actually want to stay alone. You're sick and tired of your family's and society's expectations. Like, you legitimately don't want a man. You don't want to have kids. You just want to live life for your hobbies. I can respect that. But if that's what you want, you wouldn't be looking for advice or validation from articles like this, would you? Unless you're doing the same thing I am and you're just laughing at this stuff, why would you be reading something like this? Unless you actually want a relationship. But we'll just hold that thought. So here are 16 reasons why the best women stay single the longest. You just might realize you're one of them. Yeah, I know you're not intentionally staying single and you're kind of bitter about it, but look, maybe it's a good thing. You deserve an amazing guy. I already completely off the rails. No, nobody deserves anything but what they can earn themselves. So whether it's for another human being or some job that you know you're better than, you just refuse to settle in any way. So the exact opposite of the kind of woman I was just talking about that actually just wants to be single. No, she wants a relationship, but her standards are just too high. And since that's the case, you sure as hell aren't going to waste your time being with someone who doesn't live up to your standards. And yet when a guy does this, he's a sexist, you know? When a guy has standards, he's horrible. You like doing what you want when you want. I agree. I agree with this one. I agree with this 100%. When you're in a relationship, you constantly have to consider, what does the other person want to do? How would me doing something affect the other person? When you live alone, that is not a concern. You could do what you want when you want, and if anyone doesn't like it, just flip them the bird. I see the appeal. So you like to come and go as you please, go to dinner when you want, sleep a la starfish position on your bed alone. So you don't need or want attachments that are going to interfere with your plans. All right, this one's not bad. If you're a woman and you legitimately feel like this, then this could be the lifestyle for you. You're a natural risk taker. Oh, how are they going to spin this? So you've never been conventional in your thoughts or actions. You're the first one of your friends to sign up for cliff jumping or skydiving. You'd prefer to know the thrill of living on the edge than huddling away in a life that's ordinary. So you're just like every other woman then, right? I like to travel and see the world. Now, you're so unique that it's not easy to find a good match for you. Oh, that is a very nice way of saying that you're special, right? You're just too unique for anyone to want to deal with. Yeah, don't worry. Someday you will find somebody that can put up with you, but that's not today. So someone who has a penchant for jumping out of planes and drinking milk past the expiration date too. I mean, I've done the milk thing, but on accident. Your priorities don't include being someone's girlfriend or wife. Hey, that's actually most women. And that's why they end up miserable. Like, their priorities aren't, being a girlfriend or wife. And then by the time they hit like 50 and those become their priorities, their options to be that are pretty much gone. So far too many women define themselves by being the girlfriend or wife of someone else. They do that on purpose. Like, this is actually the female equivalent of men who define themselves by who their employer is. This is legitimately an attitude that could use an adjustment. So they allow themselves to be absorbed into the life of another until they're no longer their own entity. That's kind of what happens when you're in a relationship. But you, the Waymans who isn't going to stay single or who's going to stay single the longest, don't buy into that. You have an identity that doesn't involve being one part of a whole. You're already whole. And if that's what you legitimately believe, you should stay single. Just don't complain that you're single when you're older. So you love the excitement of first kisses. Oh, so you a hoe. Kissing the same person the rest of your life, having sex with the same person till you're dead? Are you kidding me? You're holding out and enjoying first kisses with new people as long as possible. And these are the types of women that end up miserable. These are the types of women that write those articles that we cover on this channel. That, oh, I had the perfect man, the perfect relationship, but I threw it away because I thought I could do better or I wasn't happy. That's this kind of woman. So it says that they try to do this as long as possible. They always grossly underestimate when or how long that's going to be. You know, they think that they're going to be able to do this until they're 50. But in reality, like 25 is the cutoff. So by the time they finally stop doing this, they realize, like, oh, oops, I think I may have made a mistake. So you want to taste all the flavors of the casual sex scene. That you already covered this in the previous one. Actually, no, Terrence Papa was right. A lot of these are variations on each other. Like, I think a good 5 of these are the same thing. That's a good idea too. You could summarize most of these points by just saying you're an easily bored hoe. Yeah, that's right. If you're a hoe that gets bored easy, this is the article for you. So you never really know what you're into until you've tasted all there is to offer, and casual sex is definitely the way to do that. And by the time you've tasted all there is to offer, it's already too late for you to go back to the one you liked the most. So more reasons amazing women stay single longer. Well, you have yet to convince me that any of them are amazing, though. You'd rather not share your hard-earned money. When a man does this, it's considered abuse by the Duluth model. So in relationships, things become 50-50, and suddenly you have to watch your spending for the sake of your partnership. You're not ready to give up the frivolous spending of your hard-earned cash for the future of your relationship. When a man says this, he's immature. You notice that? It's kind of funny. When a man doesn't want to, split his resources for someone that doesn't earn their keep, oh, he's bad, huh? So you don't want to have to check in with anyone. Nothing kills a night quite like your partner texting you at 3 a.m. asking where you are. Screw that noise. You want to stay out till dawn if you feel like it. I mean, I agree with this one, actually. This is a good reason to stay single, is you want to do what you want when you want, and you don't want to answer to anybody. They already covered this previously, like 5 different ways. So you love being the single girl at weddings. Why? Because you could hook up with the groomsmen? So single whammons at weddings kill it in the guy department. Exactly what I just said. Not only do you have single men eyeing you, but married men who miss their single days too. It's also a perfect time to celebrate the fact that you don't have to deal with your own wedding anytime soon, which means more money for shoes, brunch, and trips to faraway places. Until the biological clock starts ticking. You don't want to give up vacuuming in the nude. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to tell you this, man. If you look good, I don't mind if you vacuum nude. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'd encourage you to vacuum nude. Why the hell would you have to give up vacuuming nude for my sake? Like, no, please go ahead. I'll watch. Now, your apartment is a close-free territory. You want to keep it that way, whether you're vacuuming, eating, or sprawled out on the couch watching Netflix. Well, again, what's the problem there? You could do that with me around. I'd appreciate it. Like, I don't even get why this one's on here. Why is this even an issue? Yeah, maybe if there's kids, yeah, that's like the one time you got to be careful. But if it's just like, the two of you, like, you just both walk around the house nude. What does it matter? So you love the freedom of not having plans. That you've covered this already multiple times. Your singlehood allows you to drop everything on a Friday and jet off to Rome. When's the last time any of your married friends did such a thing? And God forbid the ones with children. You're busy building an empire. While others have a job, you have a career, and it's important for you to focus on that and go as far as you can in it. And then by the time you go as far as you can, you're writing those articles about how you wish you could take it all back and start a family instead. Don't worry, as soon as you write that article, we'll be covering it right here on this channel. You don't have time for someone else's problems. I can sympathize with this one. Being in a relationship means dealing with someone else's crap, and you just don't have the time for that. You have your own problems, and once those you get those figured out, maybe you'll take on the drama of someone else and their issues. Now, this one I can't really have any complaints with. This is if you view relationships this way, they're not for you. It's that simple. And like definitely, guys have been saying the same thing. Like when, especially now that women are trying their hardest to become men, and they're just like super competitive with everything too. Like as a guy, you're like, I want someone that'll support me and like maybe handle the things I can't handle on my own and just again support what I'm doing. If instead I get with someone who's trying to compete with me and doing the same things I'm doing, and I get home from a hard days of work and then I have to fight and compete again, like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. So you're not concerned about your biological clock until it ticks past midnight, then you are. So in fact, when others bring it up, you just laugh. Really? The only reason you ever look at the clock is to see how many more drinks you can get before happy hour is over. And then the womb runs dry. So you're already in a relationship with yourself. That's a funny way to refer to masturbation. So you don't need to commit to yourself to anyone else because you've already got something really awesome going on with yourself. You can count on yourself, provide for yourself, make yourself orgasm like no one else out there. You've got it made and plan to keep things this awesome for as long as possible. Now, let me once again say, I don't disagree with this one, but think of how men are treated when they say the same thing. When a guy comes out and says, I got a decent job, I pay for my living and my hobbies, and I still have enough left over to build up a savings account so I can provide for myself. I have my hands and various other toys to take care of the deed so I can make yourself orgasm like no one else out there. I've got it made. When a guy says this, he gets shamed for it. Oh, man, you're talking about masturbating or having a sex doll like it's not cringe? What a loser. I wonder why women aren't being shamed this. Like, notice that society is perfectly fine with women having all the dildos and vibrators in the world and no one bats an eye. But a man has a fleshlight and he's a fucking loser. Real funny there. I wonder why that double standard exists. This is a bonus right there. That was the 16. Now it's what the experts say. Oh my God. The experts. Oh, you know this is going to be good. Now, single whammons are just as happy as those who are coupled up. They never mention this when it comes to men. They always say, oh, you have to get married or else you're going to be miserable. While a current year -15 study published by the European Journal of Social Psychology found that single people are seen as unhappy, the same study revealed that in reality, single people are just as upbeat and fulfilled as those who are coupled up. Duh. If you're a man, definitely save this article because you could counter all the shaming thrown at you with these points meant to validate women. Those single women feel mentally freer. Yeah, when you got Big Daddy government redistributing men's wealth to you and you don't actually need a man. Yeah, yeah. So, as a relationship expert and author Susan Winter explains, single people are more likely to have uncluttered minds. Believe it or not, relationships are mentally expensive. Yes, they are. And that's why a lot of relationships fail, because if you're in a relationship, you have to constantly be putting effort in to keep it going. As soon as you stop putting the effort in, it falls apart. Yeah, it is an exhaustive process. Now, intimacy and partnership takes up a lot of space in our heads. Even though much of this is happening unconsciously, there's still a lesser capacity for individually focused thought. Being on your own means less time worrying about your partner, any potential relationship issues that might arise. Sounds pretty freeing to me. Yeah, this once again is the same thing they mentioned earlier about, yeah, you don't have time for someone else's problems. That's basically what this is. Those single women's are more adaptable. All right, I'm willing to listen. Life throws all kinds of curveballs your way, and that can be hard to take on board and even adjust to. However, those who stay single end up coping way better. It's almost like you have no choice, says the psychologist and relationship expert Dr. Nilu Dartashi. So when you're alone, you have you have to be more self-sufficient. You're also more likely to go after your biggest goals and dreams. Yeah, you're more likely to take risks and have adventures and have more novelty within your journey. Well, there's also the matter of like when you're not dealing with anyone else's problems, you only have yourself to worry about. It's a lot easier. Like I should just look at the concerns. Like if something happened with your job and you had to move across the country, if you're single, I mean, it's an inconvenience. You'll be moving away from the friends and family you may have known for a while, but you'll adapt. You'll be fine. But now imagine that you're married with children. So now, even though like whatever problem at your job has nothing to do with your significant other, now they have to uproot their life because of your BS. Your kids have to like transfer to another school halfway through the school year and deal with all that BS. And you have to deal with them bitching about it and resisting and all that extra BS. This is just logic. Yeah, if you're alone, bad things that happen to you will only affect you, and you don't have to worry about how it spills over to everyone else. You have much stronger friendships, really. It's no secret that when you're in a relationship, you tend to have far less time for your friends, which seriously sucks. Not when you're single. One of the major benefits of being single is having the space in your life to spend quality time with friends until those friends get married and they don't have time to spend with you. Everyone understands what that's like, man or woman. We all had friends that as soon as they got married, all of a sudden they never have time anymore. Yep, this is true. The theory was proven in a study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, showing that increased social connections between single people. Well, yeah, because they got to focus on other things. So single women's tend to be healthier too. Now, the reason for this is funny. It's because if you're single, I mean, even if you're not looking to date or get married, chances are you might be looking for one night stands or something, right? So if you're single, you'll take care of yourself better because I've seen so many people in relationships or who are married, they just let themselves go. They're like, I already got somebody. I don't need to keep this up. And what did I say earlier about relationships needing constant work to maintain? Yeah, they let that slip. They pull the pin on the fat grenade. Now, according to research, unmarried women are better off than married ones when it comes to health. This is because being single means having more time to focus on your well-being. No, it's not that. It's that when you're in a relationship, you don't feel the need to keep up your looks as much as you used to. Because if the only reason you got in shape and prettied yourself up is so you could get a man, once you have that man, you then start slipping. Like, why am I doing this? I already have a man. And same goes for men. Like, why do I keep working out? Like, why do I need to maintain this six pack? I already got a woman. Who am I doing this for? A survey of more than 13,000 people found that single women's exercise more frequently, and a current year -6 study of the Journal of Women's Health found that those who roll solo had lower BMIs and lower risks of smoking and alcohol. That's pretty sweet. This one's obvious. Single women's have more sex, at least the ones that aren't admitting to cheating. It seems counterintuitive to suggest that women who aren't in relationships are getting it on more than those with a regular partner at the ready, but that's true. I mean, us guys have been saying this for how long? We've been talking about the concept of the sexless marriage for a long time. Now, survey data collected from more than 26,000 people between 1989 and 2014 found that single people are indeed getting it on more often than those in serious long-term relationships. And now here we go. Single women's know themselves better. Well, they've thoroughly explored themselves, right? So while it's unfair to say that women's in relationships aren't in touch with themselves, it makes sense that those who stay single have a different level of knowledge due to having the time to actually figure themselves out, which once again is also true. Like, if you're not running around dealing with other people's drama all the time, you do have more time to worry about your own shit. I can't find fault with that. One of the most important relationships you ever have is with yourself. That's why I have it with myself like 7 times a day, man. So being single can provide a valuable opportunity to learn about your likes and dislikes, embrace your authentic self, and explore hobbies or activities you've been itching to try, says Zarabi. Makes sense. Well, it does, but a lot of that stuff, it's not like you can't do it. It's just like the vacuuming nude thing. I mean, shit, if you're hot, I don't care. Please vacuum nude. Same thing with these hobbies. If you got the free time, why would I care what your hobbies are? Unless your hobbies involve going out and getting banged by the whole town or something, then we might have a problem. But within limits, why would that matter? I think this might be projection, because like women tend to, they tend to care a lot about what a guy's hobbies are, and often tries to like stand in their way and sabotage them or get them to drop their hobbies. But it's usually not the same the other way around. I know so many guys that they're actually losing tens of thousands of dollars a year trying to prop up their wife's hobby that she claims is a business, but it never makes any money. It's just something she does as a hobby. But you're like, you know what? She's enjoying herself. I'll keep footing the bill for this hobby. Yeah. Meanwhile, could you imagine the opposite of that? If a guy had a hobby that was costing tens of thousands of dollars a year, she would be shrieking at him that you're throwing our money away on this. Either you ditch this hobby or I'm out. Yeah. Where's the reciprocity there, man? That's what I would like to know.